So, guys, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. So, the news came in that the ANC finance minister Ino Godongwana has caved and decided to reverse the decision to increase the value added tax. Apparently, this is a decision that was made in the middle of the night. And guys, you remember that in the past couple of weeks, we have actually been covering this issue of the value added tax and how this thing has actually exposed the ANC and other political parties, because instead of the ANC looking into the government, instead of Ramaphosa and his team looking into the government and finding what they can dream so that they can spend money, instead of cutting that bloated cabinet, instead of reducing the ministerial perks, the government has decided to increase the value added tax when things are already expensive. So many people were not happy about this decision that was made by the ANC, and the reason for that is because the people can see the corruption that is happening in government. So why should South Africans actually be the ones being forced to subsidize this corruption and the criminality of the ANC? So I know, guys, that many of you have already got the SMSs from your banks, from your insurances all over the place, that on the 1st of May, the VAT will go up by 0.5 percentage point. But right now, it seems like it won't be the case, according to the National Treasury. So before we get to who is responsible, let's actually see what this article says about this decision that was made in the middle of the night. So the article says that the finance minister Ino Godongwana has announced he will be reversing the decision to increase the value added tax. This was confirmed in an overnight media statement by the National Treasury, which stated that VAT would remain at 15 percentage point. So on social media, it says that Ino Godongwana, the finance minister, has reversed the decision to increase the value added tax by 0.5 from the 1st of May 2025. The minister will be withdrawing the appropriation and division of revenues for amendment to reflect the revenue shortfall. So this is a statement right here. This is a statement of the National Treasury. And let's see what the National Treasury basically says. It says that the Minister of Finance will shortly introduce the rates and monetary amounts and amendment of revenue laws bills, which proposes to maintain the value-added tax rate at 15 percentage point from the 1st of May 2025, instead of a proposed increase to VAT announced in the budget in March. The decision to forego the increase follows extensive consultation with political parties and careful consideration of the recommendations of the parliamentary committees. By not increasing the VAT, estimated revenue will fall short by around 75 billion rands over the medium term. As a result, the minister of the ANC has written to the Speaker of the National Assembly to indicate that he is withdrawing the appropriation and the division of revenue bill in order to propose expenditure adjustment to cover this shortfall in revenue. Parliament will be requested to adjust the expenditure in a manner that ensures that the loss of revenue does not harm the South African fiscal sustainability. The decision not to increase the VAT means that the measures to cushion the lower income households against the potential negative impact of the rate increase now needs to be withdrawn in other expenditure decision revisited. To offset the unavoidable expenditure adjustment, any additional revenue collected by SARS may be considered for this purpose going forward. The ANC finance minister expects to introduce a revised revision of the appropriation and division of revenue bill within next few weeks. So this is what the National Treasury basically says. So, of course, Mmusi Maimane is already celebrating. Just look at the picture that Mmusi Maimane has posted on social media. Mmusi Maimane is celebrating that, yes, this is because of Build One South Africa and this is because of ActionSA. We are the ones that are responsible for this decision that was made by the ANC finance minister. We are the ones. The ANC has basically listened to us. So on social media, Build One South Africa says that breaking news: we stood firm when it was counted and we've won for you. The VAT increase has been reversed. When we voted in support of the fiscal framework, misinformation campaigns came at us fast and loud, but we didn't waver. We didn't run to the courts. We knew that responsible negotiation around the table was the best way to find agreement to stop the proposed 0.5 VAT increase, and today that's exactly what happened. The VAT increase has been blocked, and this is a victory for all of us, the people of South Africa. Leadership is not about noise, it's about making the responsible calls that delivers the results. So this is what Musimai and Build South Africa are saying, that guys, we negotiated with the ANC on behalf of you, the people of South Africa. We are the kings right now. We have negotiated with the ANC. You guys must just come and applaud us for this thing that we have actually done. And not only Musimai is celebrating, also Hemini Mashaba is celebrating, because today at 10 a.m. ActionSA will actually be doing a press conference where they will be talking about how they actually are responsible for this decision that was made.
Fellow South Africans.
For this decision that was made by the ANC finance minister. So they are going to take the victory, just like Build One South Africa has already decided to take the victory, to say that, guys, we are the ones that are responsible for this decision. We negotiated with the ANC. We negotiated with the ANC. So Hemini Mashaba reposted this video that he did a couple of weeks ago, when he basically told South Africans that, guys, there won't be any VAT increase. So this is a video that Hemini Mashaba has reposted on social media.
My fellow South Africans, Tuesday marked a major victory for ordinary South Africans who have been hard-pressed by the cost of living crisis, exacerbated by unwarranted taxation. During the Joint Committee on Finance sitting, ActionSA introduced an amendment to the report on the fiscal framework to ensure that the incontentious VAT increase and personal income tax bracket creep are scrapped, which protect South Africans from unnecessary tax. Our proposal was supported by majority vote, while others simply folded their arms. Please do not allow yourselves to be misled by lies already being spread on social media, peddled by desperate political parties that had no viable solutions to offer. From day one, ActionSA has stood its ground on this matter. We have remained committed to fight to cut VAT and not hike VAT. Our country already faces a cost of living crisis, and we cannot continue to burden citizens by reaching further into their already shallow pockets. Yesterday's move will shield South Africans from worsening economic conditions and instead force government to go back to the drawing board. In this regard, ActionSA will continue to push for pragmatic and viable alternatives to bridge the gap in revenue. From day one, ActionSA has been fighting for the proper funding of SARS. We will be working closely with the Commissioner, National Treasury, and members of the Finance Committee willing to contribute to table an actionable plan whereby additional funding to SARS will provide the alternative revenue needed to scrap VAT, hike, and provide personal income tax relief. If anyone still has been doubting us, yesterday's victory reinforces our position as a constructive opposition that is willing to negotiate our solution that provides tangible benefits to South Africans. This position has allowed us to deliver actionable solutions to South Africans in a matter of days, where other parties haven't been able to do so in months. Do not allow yourselves to be manipulated by lies that falsely distort the historic win for the people of South Africa. ActionSA's intervention works towards improving your economic standing and not the opposite. Our agenda has always been and will continue to be that of putting South Africans first. Instead of sitting back, we have taken action and will continue to take action to prioritize the interest of ordinary South Africans. I would like to say that we are only just getting started. But the truth is that what we did yesterday is the continuation of our journey to use every opportunity we get to bring hope to all South Africans.
So this is a message of ActionSA. This is what Hemini Mashaba said a couple of weeks ago. So today, of course, he's already rubbing this video in front of everybody. He's shoving this video and saying that, guys, I told you a couple of weeks ago that ActionSA is negotiating on your behalf and you won't have any VAT increases come the 1st of May. So you can clearly see where this is going. Build One South Africa and ActionSA, they are already taking the credit for the decision that was made by the National Treasury that the VAT hike would be scrapped. So let's look at what the ANC is saying. Let's look at what the ANC is saying. The statement of the ANC regarding this issue, it says that the statement of the caucus of the African National Congress on the announcement of the Minister of Finance regarding the proposed 0.5 VAT increase. The caucus of the ANC in Parliament welcomes the announcement by the Minister of Finance to stop the proposed increase in value-added tax, which was scheduled to commence on the 1st of May 2025. So that first line, it tells you that these people are just dishonest at best, because you remember after this fiscal framework passed in Parliament, you remember how the ANC celebrated in Parliament. These people were singing and clapping hands and dancing, but today they are trying to act like they are happy that the finance minister and the National Treasury has decided to reverse the VAT hike. So how is it possible that the same people that were celebrating when the fiscal framework passed through, the same fiscal framework that included the 0.5 VAT increase, how is it possible that those people were dancing at one point and now they are already dancing again when the same VAT has been reversed? It doesn't make any sense. So this thing alone, it shows you that these people are disingenuous. It shows you that these people are disingenuous at best. So the ANC continues to say that following the adoption of the fiscal framework on the 2nd of April, the parties that supported the framework agreed that they would present alternative revenue proposals and corresponding expenditure savings to the National Treasury within the period of 30 days. So guys, we're going to go back to the statement. Together, considering the views of South Africans across the political party divide, the parties extensively engaged with the Minister of Finance on the proposed VAT increase leading to today's announcement. The proposed VAT increase had eclipsed proper and expansionary aspects of the budget, such as increased allocations to social support programs and infrastructure investment, a departure from the austerity of the past decades. The resolution of the VAT issue will hopefully focus public discussion to the progressive elements of the budget. Every experience teaches us valuable lessons. Two takeaways from this year's budget proceedings are worth mentioning amongst others. First, the impasse underscored the need for a more transparent and inclusive approach to matters of national expenditure. We therefore look forward to the Minister's tabling of the Monetary Bill Amendment Act and through it the options that the National Treasury has considered appropriate in the circumstance. Second, by putting aside our political differences in search of a solution to a national challenge, the parties that supported the fiscal framework have demonstrated the true meaning of the mature leadership. South Africans of all walks of life, especially working people and unemployed, are the real winners of this patriotic spirit. So the ANC says that the parties that supported the fiscal framework that consists of 0.5 VAT increase demonstrated the true meaning of mature leadership. So if you agree with the ANC to actually make things horrible for the people of this country, then you are mature. This is according to the ANC. This is not what I'm saying, but this is what the ANC is saying. Because if this is something that the ANC was proud of, then they wouldn't be going out and saying that the political parties that have actually supported us in trying to increase the VAT increase have actually shown maturity. How do you show maturity? By actually making things impossible for the people on this ground. So the statement continues to say that The ANC looks forward to building on this multi-party cooperative spirit to tackle other multiple national problems and challenges whose resolutions require the undivided attention of all South Africans across their political, racial, class, gender, and other divides. So this statement was actually issued out by Hlengiwe Khatebe, the liaison officer of the African National Congress. So this is where I'm actually going to start disagreeing with the ANC. This is where I'm going to start to disagreeing with the ANC. If you pay attention to this statement of the ANC, the statement of the ANC is trying to give credit to the political parties that actually voted in favor of the fiscal framework, not the political parties that actually disagreed with this fiscal framework that consisted of 0.5 percentage point. So right now, the ANC is being disingenuous. The reason why the ANC is being disingenuous is because we know that the EFF and the DA took the government to the courts over this matter of the VAT. And I totally agree with Clement Manyatela when he says that this news it's great news for South Africa. This is a DA victory. It's the legal argument in court that swung it. The Treasury realized it's losing this case, and the ruling on the 28th of Treasury loses was going to be a big headache for them. So if the Treasury had actually lost, it was going to be a big headache for them. It was going to be a big headache for them. And the reason why I'm saying that the ANC is being disingenuous by trying to give these political parties that voted for the fiscal framework the credit for this decision of the finance minister is because the same ANC has decided to finalize things out of court with the DA. The ANC and the DA finalizing out of court settlement on VAT hikes. So Clement Manyatela is spot on when he says that this is a DA victory. He did not include the EFF. He was supposed to include the EFF. This is a DA victory. It is the legal argument in court that swung it. The Treasury realized that they are losing this case, and on the 28th, because the ruling was going to come on the 29th, if National Treasury had actually lost this case, it was going to be a big headache for them. That's why they decided to settle out of court. So it's here. The ANC and the DA finalizing out of court settlement on the VAT hikes. So why is the ANC giving the credit to ActionSA and Build One South Africa when they know for a fact that this court case that was brought by the DA and the EFF is the one that actually forced them to reverse this decision of the VAT hike? I don't understand. Because here it is clear. It says that the finance minister, Godongwana, has proposed out-of-court settlement with the DA that would see the contentious 0.5 percentage point VAT hike terminated. The finance minister, Godongwana, has proposed an out-of-court settlement with the DA that would see the contentious 0.5 percentage point VAT hike terminated. This is ahead of a handing down of a judgment in the court case brought by the DA and the EFF to have the VAT hike interdicted. The judgment is scheduled to be handed down on the April 29, which is 2 days before the implementation of the VAT hike. So again, guys, I'm asking the question again. Why is the ANC, through their statement, trying to give the credit to Build One South Africa and ActionSA, knowing very well that the DA and the EFF were about to win this case, and they could not afford to lose this case because it would be a huge embarrassment on them? So that's why the finance minister has said that, guys, we are losing this case. So we are proposing an out-of-court settlement with these political parties that have taken us to court. So this is a victory for the DA and for the EFF, because if it wasn't for the DA and the EFF, these people would not be out and celebrating. The Muslim Imani would not be out and celebrating. Hemini Mashaba was not going to be out and celebrating. So don't you find it a bit ironic that ActionSA and Build One South Africa, they hate the DA so much, but the DA is the one that practically saved them. It is the one that saved them. And instead of saying that, no, the DA and the EFF, thank you so much, guys, for actually forcing these people to terminate this 0.5 VAT hike. No, we are taking credit for that. We are taking credit for that. The ANC never considered the proposals that were made by ActionSA and Build One South Africa, because after ActionSA and Build One South Africa submitted the proposals to the ANC still went ahead and said that, guys, we are pushing through with the 0.5 percentage hikes. The ANC never took their proposals into considerations. But now they are trying to pretend like, no, these proposals that were brought to us by ActionSA and Build One South Africa are so important, and we have actually taken them into consideration. And this is the reason why we have decided to reverse the decision to increase the VAT hike. No, it is a lie. That is not it. The DA practically saved ActionSA and Build One South Africa, and right now they are trying to save face by trying to pretend like this is their victory. If the DA and the EFF didn't take the government to court, I'm telling you, the 0.5 was going to go through, just like the ANC has said. Cyril Ramaphosa told them that, guys, we understand that you have given us the proposals, but right now the National Treasury says that they don't see any alternatives. You remember just last week, the finance minister was speaking that I don't see any alternatives, because if there were any alternatives, I would be doubting my fiscal framework. But I don't doubt my fiscal framework because I don't see any alternatives, meaning that the ANC and the government never took into consideration the proposals that were made by ActionSA and Build One South Africa. So DA and the EFF, they took them to court. They said that, guys, we're going to go to court. And now they have realized that they are losing. So they say that, no, we are proposing an out-of-court settlement. So why would the finance minister propose an out-of-court settlement if he was positive that they were going to win the case? Why would the finance minister propose an out-of-court settlement if they knew that they were going to win? That is the question that you need to ask yourself. And the DA has confirmed this news by saying that, important, the DA can confirm reports that lawyers acting for the Minister of Finance have approached our lawyers proposing an out-of-court settlement in a matter the DA brought to interdict the VAT increase scheduled for the 1st of May. The DA is waiting a formal written settlement offer before responding to the minister's request. We will update the public of the developments in due course. We can also confirm that the DA delegation is due to meet a high-level ANC delegation tomorrow, at which these discussions will be taken further. And I see the people on social media, they are saying, no, this is a lie. There is no way that the finance minister and his lawyers have actually approached the DA. But if that was the case, why hasn't the ANC came out to say that this is a lie? Because if the DA was lying, that the finance minister and his lawyers have approached their lawyers on this matter and they want to settle out of court, why hasn't the ANC come out to say that the DA is lying? The fact that the ANC has never came out to say that the DA is lying, it means that it is the truth. The finance minister is proposing an out-of-court settlement. But at the same time, they cannot give the DA and the EFF credit. They cannot give the DA and the EFF credit. But truth of the matter is that this is their victory. It is not the victory of ActionSA and Build One South Africa. Their proposals were never taken into consideration. But the fact that these people are proposing an out-of-court settlement, it shows you that they knew they were going to lose. That's why Clement Manyatela says that, no, we know it's because of the things that were actually said in court. This is the reason why we are giving the DA and the EFF this credit. But the ANC, being the type of people that they are, they will never give the DA the credit. They know very well that the DA is the one that actually twisted their arm into making this decision. But to make their partners who have actually voted with them feel better, they will say that, guys, it is because of you and your proposals. Cyril Ramaphosa came out a few days ago and said that he is not going to get rid of the deputy ministers. And this is something that was proposed by ActionSA and Build One South Africa, that we don't see the value of the deputy ministers. So we plead with the president to actually look into this matter of the deputy ministers and get rid of these deputy ministers, because they are costing us a lot of money. Cyril Ramaphosa came out and said that, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So the ANC told these people that we are not taking your proposals into consideration. But as sane South Africans, we know that this court case is the one that actually forced the ANC to reverse the VAT hike. Clear as day. It is clear as day. I don't know why these people are trying to take the credit of DA and EFF, man. This is the credit of DA and EFF, and nobody is going to take that credit away from them.
I can confirm that lawyers acting for the Minister of Finance have approached the DA's lawyers proposing an out-of-court settlement in the matter that the DA brought to interdict the VAT increase scheduled for the 1st of May. The DA is awaiting a formal written offer from the Minister's lawyers before we respond to the request, and we will update the public in due course of any further developments. We can also confirm that later today, Thursday, the 24th of April, we will be meeting an ANC delegation to discuss this matter and other matters relating to the Government of National Unity.
There you have it. There you have it. So to the people that are saying that Helen Zille is lying, why would Helen Zille go out in public and say that Ino Godongwana and his lawyers have approached them to settle out of court? Why would Helen Zille do that? Why would Helen Zille play with her reputation like that? There's absolutely no reason why anybody would go out and say that, no, such and such have actually approached me with their lawyers. It is the truth. It is the truth. And the ANC, if the ANC does not deny this by the end of this day, it means that it is the truth. And it means that the DA and the EFF are the ones that are actually responsible for this VAT scrapping by the finance minister. So ActionSA and Build One South Africa, they can scream all they want. Truth of the matter is that the political parties that they hate, the DA and the EFF, they have saved them. And instead of thanking the EFF and the DA, they are now trying to take the credit for the work of the DA and the EFF, which is absolutely shameful. It is shameful. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.